Hi, friends. Janine Pettit with the Girl Camper Podcast. On today's show, we're talking about bucket list trips and sharing some events we have coming up at Girl Camper that you're not going to want to miss. Welcome, friends. This is Janine Pettit, founder of Girl Camper, editor-in-chief of Girl Camper Magazine, and co-host of the Girl Camper Podcast. This week, we are talking about Girl Camper bucket list trips, and I've invited four of our Girl Camper guides to tell us about some of the events they have on the books that are just taking it up a little bit of a notch, something you might want to consider doing. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsor, Curt.
Curt Echo Mobile Brake Controller is a world-first mobile Bluetooth brake controller that can give you an entirely new towing experience. It's easily plug and play into your RV wiring harness with no tools required. It connects wirelessly and syncs with your smartphone to control and monitor all trailer brake activities. Its compact, portable design allows for easy transfer from one vehicle to another and convenient storage when it's not in use. Check it out in the complete family of Echo units to find the best fit for your towing setup.
Welcome back, everyone. And I want to thank Lippert, aka Curt, for sponsoring the Girl Camper podcast. We're so in love with so many of their products. And the thing that we love is having that peace of mind. So thank you, Lippert, Curt, for developing so many products that give us that sense of safety behind the wheel. We don't want white knuckle trips. We want journeys. We're going to be back in a minute here, and we're going to be talking with Anita Keeley, our South Dakota guide, about her Buffalo Roundup trip. Welcome back, friends. Another Girl Camper trip for you here. I am here with Anita Keeley, who is our South Dakota Girl Camper guide, extraordinary woman, hails from Sioux Falls, still lives there today, right?
Yes.
Yes, and Anita has put together one of these events that's sort of become a signature event at Girl Camper. It's something called the Buffalo Roundup. So before we talk about the trip, I want Anita to say hello and tell us what is the Buffalo Roundup? For those of us that don't live with Buffalo, what's a Buffalo Roundup?
Gladly. I'm so happy to be here. The Buffalo Roundup has been going on every September, and it's really it's part of the Custer State Park's way to manage a healthy balance between the number of bison and the available rangeland forage. And it's something that is done once a year. What's really exciting this year, it is actually the 60th anniversary. So they've been doing this for 60 years.
Wow.
And it's just very, very exciting. There's typically about right around 1,500 um, buffalo in the herd, and and we need to move them from the different grasslands just to keep it healthy, and keep inspection of the animals. And it's
So are they culling? Is this the time of year?
yeah, and it's what's really great is those who are experienced horsemen or horsewomen, they can even bring their horses and help herd the buffalo. So it is very, very exciting, and people come from all over the country to be able to uh sit and watch. They come, start coming at 5, 6 in the morning and get lined up on both sides of the hills, and they can watch this, and it is very, very exciting. Those who maybe live in that part of the state
Yes.
have seen it for many years, and they think it's just a normal thing. But people coming from all over, they're totally fascinated. So
Well, it's not often that you literally see 1,000 buffalo coming over the hill, charging downhill, people
yes.
on horseback behind them, and then they go into these corrals where they're checked, and then they're auctioned, and some people
They
move there. their own property. I was not at the Buffalo Roundup. I haven't made it there yet, but it is on my list of things to do. But I got to go to Custer State Park again last summer, and I love that little animal loop they have where you just have to pull over for a buffalo crossing, and oh, the babies, seeing all the little babies. But I understand that you've got this giant herd of buffalo. They're a third of them are having babies. It's getting bigger and bigger. So this is how they manage them. And so some go to slaughter for meat.
About 400 do get auctioned off.
Uh-huh.
And what's also gives a great, experience, we try to make certain when we are having our event, we serve, different type of bison. One night we'll have, buffalo burgers. This year for the first time, I'm gonna have, I usually have one night, the first night we do, some type of street tacos, and this time we are gonna do buffalo tacos too. So,
Oh, fun.
this and it's a wonderful, healthy, very, low in fat type of very, very lean type of meat,
Oh,
and I know those who've had it, we do some special, uh, preparation at our end of our burgers, and we, our seasonings, and it
mhm.
really it is wonderful,
And to me, they taste like a burger. I've had them many times.
yeah, but even better, much, much better because
So
you
let's talk about the trip end of it. So this event happens there in Custer State Park every year, but you organize a girl camper trip around this event. And this is just one of the things participants in the annual Buffalo Roundup girl camper event that you host every year get to do. There's other things. Tell us what campground you're hosting it at, how many people come, what else is on the agenda.
Okay. Well, our event takes place from September 25th through the 28th, and we have a wonderful campground which is called Buffalo Ridge. And the beauty of this campground is if a woman doesn't have a van or a trailer or a
Mhm.
RV, they can actually stay in a teepee. They're very incredible. They're very luxurious, very
I've stayed
comfortable.
there. I
Yep.
stayed at the treehouse.
Yep, and we have tree houses, we have glamping tents. There is so many, there's probably, uh, 6 different levels of different types of cabins or even just a
Mhm,
very minimal one, but there's something
mhm,
for everybody, every price range, and so we often have, women that fly in as well because if they're
mhm.
coming in for example, I've got somebody coming this year from California, well, she is a van person, and she would rather fly in and, stay right there. The
Mhm.
beauty of the campground that we're at is has so much there. I mean, there's even a pool, there's places to relax, but within such a short distance, all of our activities are right in our own backyard. So, the beauty of what we try to do is uh, have sign up sheets where women can all um, plan together and ride to the um, Mount Rushmore, or they might
Mhm.
choose to go to Deadwood or go to Hill City. There's just so much, and so it is so
Yeah.
wonderful. I tell everybody that you come and you are going to have so many new best friends because we make it very easy to network and have all these new sisters. So it's just a
Yeah.
wonderful. Uh,
Well, you're promoting this, and I don't want to use the word promoting. You're sharing this has worked because a big pile of the Ohio girls have had enough of seeing all the fun they're missing. And Ohio girls are caravanning out there, and, and and that makes me so happy. One, getting there is half the fun. So to think of all those Ohio girls all in a row, making their way with their little campers up to South Dakota makes me so happy. But to see our guides interacting with other guides and our Ohio girls visiting the South Dakota girls, so thrilling.
Last year we had a group of gals coming from Indiana, and they caravanned and they went across all the way across the state of South Dakota. There was so much for them to see. I mean, even in Sioux Falls, we have the beautiful falls, and we have
Mhm.
Arc of Dreams, and then, coming across, in Mitchell, there's the only world's corn palace, and then coming
Yeah.
across, before you, cross the big river that divides, the east and west part of the state, in Chamberlain, we've got, um, Destiny and the
Yeah.
beautiful sculpture that is so wonderful of a Native American woman wearing her star
Yes.
quilt. And it's not only so beautiful during the day, but even at night, the
Mm.
lights on it. And so, then of course, when you come across the middle of the state, we have our state capital. And going a little bit further, you can go to Myrtle and Kadoka and
Yeah.
Drug. And then, of course, the back.
Wall drugs. It's a
There's so much to see, so a lot of the gals have chosen to, take their time across the state and visit all these wonderful
Mhm.
places, the
And then
Badlands
and
is
then
wonderful.
Roundup. So, Anita, where can everybody find out about this trip?
Absolutely. Please go to, the event page of Girl Camper,
Mhm.
and all you need to do is search, South Dakota, and you'll see, it's the Buffalo Roundup, Black Hills. We're actually adding another dimension to this year. We're having the Black Hills Film Festival is being held during the same time. The Crazy Horse Folks March is also that weekend, and then
Yeah.
Crazy Horse, or I mean, the Custer State Park has their arts festival, and so there's so much
Okay.
to
So much so
do. Yeah, it's just
it's a
incredible.
fantastic time of year to be in that state.
Beautiful,
You
beautiful.
know, perfect sleeping weather at night, campfire weather.
Yes.
So tell us what the fee is for this trip.
The fee, it's a $95 fee, and with that, you get, uh, admission into the parks. Because this is such a big time of the year, all the campgrounds fill up, and we, have our campground being held for us, and we're getting a special girl camper discount.
Wonderful.
And there's like I said, there's something in every price range, whether you're a tent camper, whether you
Yeah.
stay in a fancy cabin, whether you're
Mhm.
bringing your diesel pusher and you want a
And
really
$95 is such a reasonable
it
price,
is.
an event fee, and I would encourage people to come a couple days early, stay a couple days late, do all those beautiful things that there are to do in that area. So, Anita, you also have a South Dakota Facebook page, so
We do.
people who want more information can also scroll back to last year and see some of the pictures.
Amazing. Yes.
And I know that you always give beautiful swag bags to people.
We do. I was just gonna say we are I'm the queen of swag.
You are.
Make certain you really are getting your dollar value.
Yes.
We always have some type of whether it's an apparel, whether it's a shirt, and we have a very commemorative, beautiful logo we've done, and we have
Mhm.
sometimes we do hats, but we have
Mhm.
lots of goodies because we give lots of prizes for activities of scavenger hunts, and we've got some extra surprises of some other crafting we're going to do this year, but it is a great value. The protein of every meal of the evenings are included, and so we like to do a lot of potlucks, but protein
Mhm.
is
Bring
always
so maybe bring a side dish, but
side
then
dish, yeah.
course
And we do that on with our we have a private Facebook and we have a very organized sign up for uh what to bring, and it's this way everybody likes to participate, and they have choices what is needed. But
Mhm.
we try to be very organized, but I think everybody that has ever come to our events uh really
Love them.
a great feeling about South Dakota and
Yeah.
the whole girl camper
Well,
experience.
you're a wonderful ambassador for Girl Camper, but also for your state of South Dakota, which I have come to love and always enjoy being there. So, Anita, thank you for
I have
sharing that.
one more thing I need to
Yeah.
add. We've got one other little promotion. We are giving away. South Dakota is one of the few states that is our area code is 605, and if you
Mhm.
sign up by I believe it's on our website by the 15th of February, we'll send you one of these commemorative 605 T-shirts of South Dakota.
I love it. I love it when your area code is your t-shirt, isn't it? 609. Okay, 605, 609, signing off. Thank you so much. I hope everyone will go and look at it and just start by joining the South Dakota Facebook group. We love it when all the Girl Camper members join the states they want to go to someday and see what's going on there. Because that's what we do. We're a travel group. We go places and do things. So, Anita, thanks for putting that wonderful trip together. I think this is your third or fourth year with it. And it's just become one of those Girl Camper signature trips. So we look forward to 2025 Buffalo Roundup. Sharon, welcome to the Girl Camper Podcast.
Good morning.
You.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, this is a great way to pass a chilly winter day. We're in the deep freeze as we're recording this. Most of the country is. Even
Uh,
the Texas girls are experiencing some unseasonable weather.
Lots of snow. We didn't get any, unfortunately, because I love the snow, but it's south of us.
Mhm. Yeah, I saw that on the news today, and all it does is make me think about stuff to look forward to. So, we're talking about bucket list trips on the Girl Camp podcast today, and you have a repeat trip. So, you went on an incredible schooner trip, and I have looked at these trips for years. Schooners on the coast, on the East Coast, up by Maine and New England, and you
Mhm.
did it a year or 2 years ago.
Last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
You liked it so much, you're bringing it back. So
I,
us
yes.
did, and how girl campers can join you on round two.
Okay. Well, Bonnie Shefta was the hostess, and I was her co-hostess for the J&E Riggin schooner. My first response to Bonnie when she asked me if I wanted to co-host was, I don't know anything about sailing. But I found out I didn't have to know anything about sailing.
Yeah.
So much fun, and I learned a lot. Because when you go on this trip, you get to help. If you are physically able and mentally capable,
Yeah.
you can help. And it was so much fun. It was
So-
so
Can you describe, for those that don't know, if you're not a boat person, I mean, when I hear schooner, I think of a sailing ship. Is that right? I mean,
that's right.
sails up. A schooner is a sailing ship. We went on a tour around some bay in Maine with the kids on vacation one year, and it was a schooner. So you're on a schooner trip, but you're sleeping in it at night.
We are. And it's hard to conceive of until you're there because I kept thinking, how are we going to get 24 of us plus the crew on this ship? But it is tight quarters, but it was so much fun. And honestly, I think that the little cabin that I had was probably the smallest one, and I've chosen to be in it again because I'm used to it. That's the one I had,
Yeah.
and I'm happy about it. But it's a rigging the sails up. Another name for the schooner is a windjammer. So if people are familiar
Okay.
with that term, it's a windjammer. There's no motor. When if at any time they have to have a little extra help, they have and I forgot the name of it. There's a boat that does have a motor on it. It's a sailboat too, but it
Okay.
has a little motor on it. So it is all the things you think it is from the old. Boat is 100 years old.
So it's a restored schooner, and it has room for 24 guests, and you have little berths or cabins. How many bathrooms are on? What's the bathroom situation?
There are
I first.
yes.
What do you have? Like a boys' room and a girls' room? How does that work?
No, they're not boys and girls. They're whomever happens to get to the door.
Okay.
There are two. One has a shower. You can take a warm shower. I never did. I mean, that sounds awful, but we you know how when you go camping, sometimes it's a kind of a you make do.
And pair don't care. It's
Uh-huh.
schooner shower don't care.
Right. I did jump in the bay though, so that was one way I got wet all over. Which only four of us did that. Everyone else was a little more reserved, I guess. Didn't jump in the bay, but because it was cold. But we slept. You could sleep on top of the deck, which I did for part of one night. It's
Out in a deck chair.
pardon? No. No, there are areas that are flat, and
Okay.
they had a cushion, and you could. It was just like a camping cushion, one of those blow up things. It was really thin, and you can sleep up there if you want to. And some people slept there every night, because they wanted to. And
Like
I
us
want
trip. We
For-
had hot, but we slept outside.
correct. So, it's just there's so many new things to do. That was one thing that really intrigued me. but also you can sleep in your bed in the cabin every night if you want to as well. So,
So let's, in the interest of time, because we're going to be talking about a lot of bucket list trips with all the girls today. What are the dates of the trip? Where does it start? Where do people have to get themselves to?
okay, you have to get yourself to, I'm sorry, I just went blank. Rockland, Maine.
So that's
Rockland, Maine.
starting point.
It starts at Rockland, Maine,
That's where you
and we meet at the dock. We're going to be 4 days and nights, from September 29th to October 3rd.
Mhm,
And we dock, and the first night is at the dock, which
mhm.
is pretty smart on their part, I think, because if somebody decides, it's not for me, which no one did, but you're still at the dock that first night.
Right.
So we sail for 4 days, and we end up back there.
Port. What's your next port after that?
That depends on the weather and how far we've
Oh,
gotten. So there is no particular spot, but it'll be in a bay or in a, in a little cove, up fairly close to, I couldn't swim to the land, but sometimes we get off and
mhm.
we go, even in the middle of the day, we may get off and ride the little dinghy up to the
Look,
land, go for a hike. Hmm.
mhm. Okay. And then so you're dotting around the bays there off the coast of Maine. Where do you land on the last day?
Back at Rockland.
Oh, so
We come back. Mhm.
but you've left your car or camper there. You're returning to that spot. What's the
Correct.
meals like on the ship?
The meals are gourmet.
Mm,
And I'm glad you brought that up because the captains, Justin and Jocelyn is a gourmet cook. She's a chef,
mm.
and the food is all fresh. They have 3 big refrigerators that are on the side of the boat. You don't even really notice they're there, and they are packed full of food. And another fun thing is to go down into the kitchen and help with preparing, like being a sous chef, I guess. I think
Mhm.
that's what a sous chef is. And a lot of people, especially if you're unable to do anything else, you can go down there always. They always want help. And that was a lot of fun. But the meals were just to die for. I didn't even know the names of some of them. They're like, we had a Moroccan meal and we had,
Wow.
yes,
That's good, good grub, good ports of call and places to go. Maine in the fall. I mean, the leaves must be beautiful that time of year.
yes. We're taking the last cruise that they do of the
Mhm.
season. And
Okay.
that and I called it Leaves and Lobster, but it is their fall foliage tour. And
Okay.
so we should see a lot of beautiful foliage.
So you're taking 24 guests. You still have a couple spots
Mhm.
available.
Mhm.
Tell us what the cost is.
The cost is, that's a good question, $1,550, I think.
And
So we
that
can
is
have it
your berth and all your food and all the stops along the way.
everything but getting yourself there and getting yourself home.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic trip. People can find out more about it by going to girlcamper.com/events. We will say, and they can look it up in J&E Riggin.
Riggin, the website is fabulous, and if you go, you get one of these shirts.
They get
So,
the shirt.
yeah,
Sure. Thank you so much. I wish you tight lines, smooth sailing. I hope it's a wonderful trip, and I hope some of our audience can join you.
yes,
That's one of these days. You did invite me, but
I did.
I'm trying to stay closer to home this year. But I love an annual trip to Maine. Maine is just one of my favorite places to be. So thank you so much for coming on. I hope you have a fantastic trip. And we're going to be back in a minute after this message from one of our sponsors.
Thank you.
You know that saying, work smarter, not harder? Yeah, let's do that. Introducing the QuickPin coupler from Curt. QuickPin's innovative design allows for fast, hassle-free trailer coupling with just one pin, making it easier to use than traditional couplers. That's right. That means no more fighting with jammed levers or problematic hinging components that drive you crazy. It's safe and couples securely with an included pin and clip. Just couple it, pin it, and you're done. QuickPin is made from high-strength steel and has tested weight ratings to ensure your safety. It's available to fit all standard trailer ball diameters, as well as a variety of trailer tongue beam sizes, including A-frame trailers. So tow smarter, not harder, and get on the road today with a QuickPin coupler from Curt.
Well, thank you, Lippert. We love our friends at Lippert and all the products they make that make our lives out on the road just feel a little bit safer. So thank you, Lippert, for being part of the Girl Camper podcast. Jess Nessler, welcome to the podcast. Coming on today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I love this little story you're going to tell us because you live in my former world. So I grew up in Chicago and with cousins in Indiana and Michigan and all around there. And I grew up at the Indiana and I belonged to the Young Explorers, which my aunt and uncle were the guides for. And it was a fishing group. And I had my very first little fishing pole and tackle box when I was 9 years old. And my whole family is kind of fishing crazy. So it was fun for me to find out you're a fisher girl too.
I do love to cast out a line every so often, regardless of the weather.
Yeah.
Even with this polar vortex, I went ice fishing last weekend because I'm just that crazy.
No, I don't do it much anymore. In fact, I just got rid of a lot of my fly fishing equipment. I don't know, it just doesn't fit in my life anymore, but great memories. And you are taking the girl campers there out on a fishing excursion, a 5-hour tour, like Gilligan's Island, but hopefully you're back. And so tell us all about it. This is a ship that you had booked with a guy, and he's taking people out on Lake Michigan. So we're talking about some pretty big fish.
Yes, so it's pretty great, and what's awesome about this particular charter is that you can have never fished before, or you could be an advanced fisher person. It really makes no difference. He guides you every step of the way, and
Your own equipment.
no, you don't have to bring anything. You just have to bring yourself, and it's probably a good idea to put a cooler in your trunk for bringing catches home.
So you get to keep. It's not catch and release.
Correct. You get to keep, and we're catching really big fish. We're talking cohos, king salmon, lake trout. So we're talking like 6+ pound fish.
Yeah, and lake trout in Lake Michigan are really big.
Yes. Yes.
So honestly, with the cost of seafood, your catch could cover the cost of your trout.
Definitely. And he is very diligent about getting us our catches. So
So it's a charter boat. My first question always, there's a bathroom on that boat, right?
yes, definitely.
And so you're going to go out on the boat. Is the boat limited, the number of people that are on the boat?
So, including the captain and his first mate, we're allowed to bring 6 of us, and that includes me. So me and 5 other women would be able to join in on this excursion.
Okay. So you're all going to meet at the dock. So everybody meets there. You get on the ship, and he's probably got sonar, I would imagine. He knows where he's taking you. And
Yes.
you told me earlier that the 5 hours doesn't begin until the first line has been cast.
Correct.
So you get 5 hours of actual fishing.
Correct. So you're actually out on the water for 6 to 6.5 hours. And what's really great about Captain Glenn is that if you're having a good time, he doesn't even check his watch.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're having a good time catching fish, he'll be happy to extend our time.
You've
He's
been
very
out
accommodating.
before. Yes.
Yes, this will be my oh goodness, this will be like my 4th or 5th charter with him.
I love it when you have someone that you trust and you know that you can seriously recommend him because that's your experience with him.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go out on Lake Michigan. You've got 5-6 hours to fish. And what do you do with the fish? Do you bring your own cooler? Do you clean them when you get back to the dock? Are they cleaned on the boat? Who cleans them?
That's a great question. So actually, they all go once you make your catch. they go into a giant cooler that's on the boat. Once we get back to the dock, the captain and his first mate start removing the fish out of the large cooler, and they actually clean the fish and fillet them for you. And then they bag it. They have bags for you that they tie shut. But I do recommend that you do bring a cooler in your trunk so that when we divide up the fish, it stays good until you get back to either your hotel or campsite there. By the way, there are plenty of camping opportunities in the area.
So if someone wanted to be camping that weekend, they could come from the campground to the dock and fish for the day and then go back and continue camping.
Definitely. There are so many private campgrounds and state parks just within an hour's drive of the area.
Okay,
It's a beautiful area too.
I don't think I asked you the launch area. Where are you launching from? Where's
Port Washington.
I'm sorry, what?
Port Washington Marina.
Okay, Port Washington Marina in Illinois.
No. Port Washington, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of my own fishing days.
That's
Port
okay.
Silly me. Port Washington, Wisconsin, and you could go back and camp. Tell us what the cost of the trip is.
It's $180 for the full fishing experience.
So per person, and then do you tip the do you
That
tip
that $180 actually includes the tip for the captain. So it's all inclusive at that point.
That's great. Because, sometimes you get this number and then you think, okay, now I got to tip 6 people and it really was 250. So that's great. All inclusive $180. What a great price point to spend the day out on the water and come home with a haul that you may be eating for the next 6 months. I love it.
I still have fish in my freezer on my last one.
I live at the Jersey Shore, so I have a lot of friends who surf fish, and they have so much fish they throw them back, and I'm like, bring it home to me, I'll take it. Yeah. Well, Jess, everybody can find out about this. They go to the Wisconsin Girl Camper Facebook page where they're going to find you, one of our favorite guides, always creating fun things for everybody. But it's also on the Girl Camper www.girlcamper.com/events. Go on there. And I hope you get a lot of people that sign up. That sounds like so much fun. What a trip down there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I hope so too. Fingers crossed.
Okay, Jess, happy trails there and smooth waters.
Thank you, Chief. Have a great day.
Okay, I will. Bye-bye. Welcome back, friends. I'm here with Kim Matarazzo, who is our Sierra Nevada, California guide. She puts together the most wonderful trips. And guess what? We are getting her off the West Coast, and she is coming east to see New England in all of its glory in the fall of next year, or this coming year, I'm sorry, fall, October 5, 12, 2025, a dream leaf peeper trip. So, Kim, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Janine.
When I saw this trip, I live here, right? Well, when I say live here, I live on the East Coast and I went to college in New Hampshire and I have many friends up there and I've been to the White Mountains many, many times. And I at least make one trip a year to Maine. It's one of my favorite places in the world. So when I saw this trip and I looked at your itinerary, I thought, wow, what comprehensive little package this tour group has put together for you. So I would love for you to share with everyone this package because I think it's a little unique. It is a bus tour, guided bus tour with stops at nice hotels and destinations along the way. But it's just a little bit of everything people want to see in New England in the fall. So kick it off and tell us, where are you starting and what's this all about?
Right. This tour will start in Burlington, Vermont. And as you said, it is a private coach bus tour with 7 nights in hotels that they select. And there's very fantastic stops along the way from what I'm told. I am a California girl and I've been on the East Coast a couple of times, but never have I done any type of travel like this where I'm going through the state. And that's why I selected this tour, is I wanted to be on the ground in New England, seeing the fall colors and the sights and the sounds of the area, something that I've never done. So it goes from Burlington
to Stowe, and then it goes through the White Mountain region of New Hampshire on to Portland, Maine, with a stop in Kennebunkport, and then on to Salem, Massachusetts, where we can see, I guess, where the witches were.
The witch brew. Yeah,
And then on to Boston, which is actually my father's hometown, but I'm very familiar with Boston. So a lot of sightseeing in
Yeah.
Boston as
And
well.
Boston is such a historic city. We could talk about that in a minute. But Burlington, Vermont. So for the West Coast people and people who may have never visited New England, the quintessential New England town. Think of all the golden and red leaves and white church steeples. It is like a 1940s movie. It it doesn't seem like it ever changes up there. They really kind of protect that little hometown thing. Honestly, you feel like you're walking around in a crossword puzzle. It's just like all these beautiful little coffee shops. I love Burlington so much. We skied a lot there when I went to college in New Hampshire, and that was a good ski spot. But I mean, I am sure that Burlington has more visitors in the fall than any other time of the year, although it is beautiful year round.
Yeah, it did look very quaint from
And
the
but spend 2
Right.
nights there, 2 nights in
side
Burlington,
there.
and then where do you go?
Well, we're stopping in Stowe after Burlington, and please inform me on Trap Family Lodge because we are stopping there.
I've never been there in person. It's actually been a bucket list thing of mine. I know many people who have gone there. I think we did cover it in the magazine once. Stowe is also a ski town, and I want to say it's touristy, but I don't want to give people the impression because New England tourism is not like the rest of the country. It's not like you're in Tennessee and Gatlinburg, where it's just like I love Gatlinburg, but it's a lot. You know, it's still a very small town feel. It's more of a destination than a tourist kind of trap. It doesn't feel touristy. And so I've seen the Von Trapp Lodge on YouTube videos. If you want to look it up on YouTube. I mean, the story is so intriguing to me, and I do believe it's still run by family members. So,
Yeah, the tour says that the tour will be guided by a family member.
yeah, very, very neat. And so when you leave Stowe, then you go over to my stomping grounds, which is the Franconia Notch in the White Mountains.
Yes, but before that, we go to Ben and Jerry's. Everybody knows Ben and Jerry's.
I've been there. You get a tour of the factory, you get ice cream. It
I
is,
get ice cream.
you know, and I honestly, Americone Dream is my favorite. Ben and Jerry's ice cream, there's nothing better, and it's a great location there. But the real winning thing over there is the White Mountains and the Franconia
We go
Notch.
to the White Mountains and we stop at the Franconia Notch, which I didn't realize it was so spectacular as you have
Well,
described it today.
there's a fun thing to see in the Franconia Notch. I've been to it a couple times myself, and I remember when we took our kids there when they were in high school, I believe. An Indian discovered the Franconia Notch. There's a gorge in there, and it's a pretty easy hike. And some Indian going through the mountains and the woods on a trail came into an opening and slipped through a very narrow space in the rocks. And there's this incredible gorge back there with a waterfall and light coming down. And it was hidden there for, centuries, millennial, and nobody knew about it. And they put a set of wooden steps so people could make a hike in there. Absolutely one of the most beautiful things I've ever witnessed in person. It often makes the cut on lists of the 20 most beautiful things to see in the
Well,
United
I'm really looking forward to that.
States. I love it.
Love me a waterfall. After that, we do board the Mount Washington Cog Railway for a ride to the region's highest summit. And I did do a little background on that. In the Sierras, we have some pretty high summits. So it looks like that we're going on the New England for a little bit.
And it is the windiest spot in England. The highest wind speeds ever recorded. Of course, it's January, so you don't have to worry about that when you're there. But it's stunning up there. The Appalachian Trail goes through there. My son hiked it, and he said it was one of the most beautiful places on the whole Appalachian Trail. So it's stunning.
Yes, and the railway ride looks pretty fabulous as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. We have a free afternoon in Kennebunkport, and they do offer some other tours that you can purchase. I will plan on, as a girl camper group, getting together on the Facebook page and moderating some of the things that we could do during our free time as well.
And it's just fun to walk around that town. It's just a beautiful town. So there's Kennebunk and Kennebunkport, which are two separate towns, and the Bush family compound is there. If they are at their site, the flag is raised high. If they're not, it's at half
Okay,
mast.
that's good to know.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful town. Water inlets everywhere, ducks, seafowl, sailboats, gorgeous.
So from there, we got to Salem and visit the Witch City and the House of Seven Gables. So yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting little.
What a fun way to end your
Yes.
tour, to come down there, and then you go from Salem into Boston.
Yes, we do Boston, Bunker Hill Monument, Faneuil Hall. These are things that I have done because my father was born and raised in Boston. So I've done all of this.
Yeah, no.
Definitely, but you can't do it enough. The old
Well-
church and Paul Revere's house, the North End, which is where my great grandfather built homes when he immigrated from Italy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being in Boston. The Freedom Trail, of course, is a must do.
Well, you know what? Having just come back from Morocco, where I did one of these guided tours like this, to have someone have scouted out every restaurant, every hotel. We got in our beautiful bus every day, which, you think school bus. No, I mean, this beautiful touring bus with reclining heated seats. It was stunning, and big viewing windows and temperature. Ours even had Wi-Fi on it, and to be taken from location to location by someone who knows what they're doing. I mean, this is the premium. I was willing to pay for that because I just have 7 days off. I don't want to do all the research.
Right.
I don't. I just take me to your leader. I just want to.
It's exactly why I selected this type of tour for this venue, because I always wanted to see the New England fall colors. I didn't want to see it from a cruise ship, and I didn't want to caravan from the West Coast and be camping along the way. So it truly is a bucket list trip. It
sounds wonderful. And I'll tell you, as someone, a New Jersey person who's often up in New England, this tour group really picks some really nice places. And the other thing is, Kim, what you see between Burlington and Stowe and Franconia and Portland is going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
The most I have ever seen in my life is in New Hampshire.
Really?
Oh gosh, I've been in Montana. We've been all over the place. You see moose like deer when you are in Maine and that part of the.
I've been to Alaska 4 times and on the ground, and I've still never seen a moose. So I'm looking for moose in New Hampshire.
You're going to see so many on this trip. A yearling come out on the road one time. We were on a back road, but I mean a street. We were on a back road, go to my roommate from college's house in Littleton, New Hampshire. And one just came out on the road. It was in front of us, clapping along. And oh my God, its hind legs were so high, and the kids were going nuts. And we're
I'd be going nuts.
I mean, the wildlife, everything that you're going to see. Tell us what this trip costs and the exact dates again.
The exact dates are Sunday, October 5th to Sunday, October 12th. The cost right now, they are honoring a $200 discount. So the tour is $37.97. They will honor that $200 off until the end of January.
Okay.
Doesn't include the airfare. You can book airfare with the tour company, depending on your city of departure. It could be anywhere from $500 to $900 for the round trip airfare, plus the transfers to the hotels that they're booking.
But
So
it includes your meals, right?
It includes breakfast every day. There are 2 dinners. There's wine tastings included. And then I, as the girl camper leader, will be organizing some lunches and some other dinner reservations when we don't have meals from the tour guide.
Well, it sounds absolutely beautiful, and I wish you the best of luck with that. If the West Coast people have ever had a 500-piece crossword puzzle of New England, it does compare. It's someplace you got to get out there and you got to go.
From what I hear, I
Yeah.
know a couple of colors in the High Sierra, but it doesn't compare to New England. According to some of my West Coast girls that are transplants from New England. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with it. If anybody wants to learn about the trip, you can go to girlcamper.com/events, looking up there. But also, Kim, your Facebook group is Girl Camper Sierra Nevada.
It's Sierra Nevada Girl Campers. That's the private group. If you just put that into Facebook and send me a request to join, I will absolutely approve you. And that's where I post everything about these trips.
This one sounds like a winner. I hope you enjoy every minute of it. I hope you have that perfect crisp fall weather and it's full of apples and hot chocolate and cider and all the fun things.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
So looking forward to.
thanks for coming on and sharing that
Thank
with
you.
us. And then we want to have you come back and tell all about it. But I also want to have you come back because you've gone full time.
Yeah.
And I want to give you 6 months to get the lay of the land. And then I'm going to have you.
I got to get my curve going here.
Yeah, you're still on the learning curve, but we'd love to hear your impressions because a lot of people have that dream, and I'd love to hear it from you. But we'll give you time.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, Kim. Happy trails.
All righty.
Well, thank you, friends, for being with us today. I want to thank each one of our guides for coming on. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, get our newsletter, follow the podcast, like, subscribe, share with a friend, do all those things to let your friends know you're out there having a world of fun with Girl Camper. We're coming back next week. If you're not following Girl Camper, go and find your state Facebook page and give us a follow. Happy trails, everyone.